Welcome back. This is Dr. Nira Konar and this is part 6 of Facing Interviews. And this is part of a larger series that I'm making for you, that is Classroom Without Any Borders. Now part 6, what have we looked at in the earlier parts? We have looked at how to prepare for the interview, practical preparation, the psychological preparation. I have told you how to get ready the night before the interview, the morning of the interview, what you should be doing once you reach that interview spot, and I've told you how to open the door. And in this part 6 we are looking at the question answer session, and question answer session can be roughly divided into 3 parts: the opening part of the interview, the middle part of the interview, and the last bit of the interview. Now, opening part of the interview is in many ways the most important part, because here it sets the tone for what is going to happen. The interviewers are going to find out in the very opening part what kind of a candidate is this. So now that you are seated comfortably in your chair, and mind you, you are not fiddling with any paperweights or any pens or anything, your hands should be there, held one after the other on top of each other. You are sitting there, in calm repose, and you are looking at the interviewers, you are looking at the questions that they are asking you. Maybe the opening question will be, tell us about yourself. It could be that. It could, of course, be other questions like, tell us about your journey. Was it a comfortable journey? Just to make you feel at ease, breaking the ice, so to say. But the first real question will be, tell us about yourself. Now that is $1 million question. Okay, pause. Think about the question. Think about the question long before the actual interview takes place. Think about it now that I am telling you, because you will find that you are the person about whom you know the most in this world, and yet to package that into, say, within 2 minutes capsule, because you have to tell the interviewers within 2 or 3 vital minutes the most crucial parts that might be useful for your professional life. Now, what are the things you're supposed to cover in that question? Of course, your name, so that they have not got it wrong in the first place. But jokes apart, you should be telling them also about your educational background, your stream, like which is your specialization. Are you a BTech engineer or an MTech engineer, or whatever it is, whether you are doing your masters in some subject. So, and what is your specialization? Then what are the institutions from which you have passed out? And especially if they are renowned institutions, that will definitely work in your favor. So that is very much there. And also the grades that you may have got. Not only in the last exam, you should be actually moving chronologically backwards, and your file also. I have told you earlier that when you are preparing your file, see to it that the certificates move chronologically backwards. That is to say, the latest one should be first. And then you tell them also about the +2 and the class 10, and especially if you have got good marks or good grades over there. Now that you have given them briefly about your schooling or your educational background, also tell them other things in which the interviewers might be interested in. And what are the other things they might be interested in? They might be briefly interested in your family. You don't have to tell the names of your parents or your siblings, but you can tell, briefly about your family, and especially if anyone is associated with the kind of work that you are planning to do in this company. Like if you are a software engineer, are there other software engineers in the family, and where are they working? So that could be crucial. And also other things you could focus on, like what training did you have? Like you have summer training in the third years, so that training, please take that training seriously, and the training certificate and the experience, that could be useful. Other things that could be useful, the project work, of course, that is very useful in the final year. What did you learn? And over here I will say, everyone, all the other candidates, they will also say, I did this project or that project. But if you are intelligent enough, beforehand only you will start thinking that whether this project work is in any way connected, especially with the kind of work that you are proposing to do in this company. And also, what did you learn? And if you're carrying your laptop or palm top, you can also show pictures and videos and reports that you may have submitted. Because in an interview, you always have to work and walk that extra mile, because everyone will be a BTech engineer over there. Supposing you are going as an engineer, for an engineering post, then everyone is a BTech engineer. If you're going for a master's in, say, English, then everyone is a master's in English. Interviewers will want to see, like, in what way is this candidate better than the other candidates? How is he or she representing his or her work in a better way? So that is of course going to help you. So what project you may have done. So what are the things we have covered? Your educational background, your specialization, and all the institutions that you may have come from, your family siblings who may be doing this kind of work, your own training, your own project work, any languages that you may know. That languages, now in our times, languages meant whether you knew English, whether you knew German, whether you knew French. But for you, it is not only those languages but also the computer languages. So C, C++, Java. Do you know all those things? So are you comfortable? Are you comfortable in programming? Supposing you have come for a software company. So those things also you should highlight. So once you have highlighted your educational background, if you already have some summer training or some experience in some other company, some job experience, you can highlight that. Supposing you don't have a job experience, you don't have to say, oh, I am a fresher, I don't have any job experience. Don't undersell yourself. Nobody asked you whether you have the experience, so you just keep quiet. You highlight whatever you have done. So, and over here you can also briefly, after talking about your educational experience, you can let them have a glimpse of the kind of person you are. Maybe you have done some kind of co-curricular activities. You may have got prizes for that also, and you can mention that I've got this certificates, I'm interested in this or that. You can also speak about your values, your desire to contribute. Many companies have CSR. So are you interested in contributing to society in some way? You can mention that also. Many companies appreciate that. And briefly, you can also tell them at the end that in what ways you want to contribute to that particular company and to the industry in general. So this is the opening question. Tell us about yourself. And now that you have answered it, you have sort of, been able to sell your candidature, you can move now gracefully to the other kind of questions that may be thrown at you, like, why did you pick up this subject? Why do you want to come and join our company? Or they can ask you, technical questions also from now on. So we will now move into the other kind of questions that can be asked in the opening section. That is in the next video, video 7.